topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good morning, South Florida, my home backyard. Welcome to another Ask the Expert show where for the last 16 years we have brought you the finest experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. And I got to tell you, for the last several years, you have written, said, how come you're not doing an estate planning show, something on wills or something on trust? And we just didn't have an opening. And we finally got an opening. And I said, the first show I want to find someone and secure is an estate planning firm. We found a firm, Florida Senior Planning PA, with attorney Tom Olson. And I got to tell you, for Florida, you can't have a better name than Florida Senior Planning. Good morning, Tom.
And all the Ask the Experts listeners out there.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you.
You know what? We got a letter after your last show from a lady who said, I listened to a lot of podcasts and most of them put me to sleep. She said, but you have an attorney named Tom. And I got to tell you, I first of all, enjoy the topic, but he really keeps me on my toes. You are so lucky to have him. And I know we feel the same way. Tom, we are lucky to have you, especially here in South Florida where the demographics are a little bit of a older, mature audience. And we are so lucky to have your firm.
Steve, I've been an attorney for over 45 years. I've been doing estate planning for all that time at Florida Senior Planning. We're all about helping people to avoid probate, get their affairs in order, to make things simple, easy, inexpensive for their children, for their estate planning, so that when they pass away, things can be simple and inexpensive. And we know how to make the process very simple for people when they're ready to do their estate planning. Florida Senior Planning, PA, we'd love to assist them anywhere in the state of Florida.
Yes, I was going to say you were in the South Florida market for this show, but you actually handle entire state of Florida. Very important to know.
Yes.
You know what, Tom? Also, people really like the way you explain. And when it comes to estate planning, first of all, it's a very scary topic. And you've got to know how to work and communicate with people. And it's so obvious by how you do the show that it's so easy for you to communicate with others.
Well, people come in and they're often confused or scared or intimidated to be with a lawyer. So I know the right questions to ask people to dig in and figure out what's going on with them and what their needs are. It's some simple stuff like how long have they been married? How many children do they have? What's the ages of the children? Anything unusual going on with their kids? And then together we come up with an action plan with the client. Once we devise an action plan, we're going to quote the client a flat fee. So everything we do on a flat fee basis. The clients like it better and makes it better work for us as well.
You know, one of the first things you said to me, Tom, is I want to keep my clients out of probate. Now, probate gets very expensive. You imagine hearing an attorney say, I want to keep my clients out of probate. I knew then that we had the right attorney.
Thank you for that, Steve. Well, people want to avoid probate because it's expensive and it takes a long time. Florida statutes recommends an attorney fee of 3%, an executor fee of 3%. So if mom owns a $400,000 home and a $100,000 CD, to run $500,000 through probate would be 500,000 times 6%. That'd be $30,000 to go through probate with those assets. That's a lot of money and people want to avoid it. Now, Steve, a lot of people think, well, I just need to have a will and I can avoid probate. But no, a will has nothing to do with avoiding probate. A will simply directs what happens to your assets when they go through probate. And then as well, there are some people out there listening that have a revocable living trust. And they're thinking, oh, I spent thousands of dollars with an attorney to get my trust done. Therefore, I must be avoiding probate. That is not necessarily true. In fact, a lot of times it's not true at all. So even if you have a trust, you may still be going through probate. But if you take us up on a free initial consultation with Florida Senior Planning, we'll go through your trust with you, talk about your assets, and make sure that that trust that you paid thousands of dollars for is really going to help you to avoid probate.
Tom, I've got so many questions for you today, but one of the things that people ask, and you just brought up about wills, you might have done a will 10 years ago, but things change. And I think it's so important that you give Attorney Tom Olson a call, because let him look at the plan you have, because it might be so outdated.
Steve, it is not unusual that people get their will or their trust done and they go home and they stick it in a desk drawer and they haven't looked at it forever and ever. Well, at floridaseniorplanning.com, we offer a free review of your estate planning documents. You can mail them, email them, fax them to us, bring them by our office. We'll take a good look at them, make sure that everything is up to date. And often people will see that no, things need to be changed. Remember, throughout these documents, you're doing three things. Number one, you're dictating how your wealth will be divided when you have passed away. Number two, you're choosing who would make healthcare decisions for you if you're not able to. If you were in a car wreck and comatose, or you developed Alzheimer's, you might live for many years where you're not able to make your own healthcare decisions. You're appointing somebody to do that for you. And number three, you're appointing somebody to take care of business for you. If you're in a car wreck and comatose or develops Alzheimer's, you're appointing somebody to pay your bills, manage your financial affairs, talk to Social Security, talk to your insurance company. So those are all choices that you made when you set up your estate planning document, but now they need to be reviewed and updated, make sure you still got the right people chosen to do those things for you.
Exactly. Tom, what are the 4 estate planning documents that everyone should have?
Steve, we think they should be a will, clearly, a living will declaration where you ask that you not be kept alive by machines. That's what I call a pull the plug document. A healthcare surrogate. You're appointing somebody to make healthcare decisions for you if you're not able to. And a financial power of attorney. You're appointing somebody to pay your bills and manage your financial affairs for you if you're not able to. Steve, we call that step one, getting these 4 basic estate planning documents done. Then part 2, once we get through those documents, is taking steps necessary to avoid probate. Again, when I mention to clients and all the lawyers in our office, when we mention avoid probate, people often shake their head, go, yeah, I want to avoid probate. So it seems like everybody out there has got their own horror story about a friend or family member or parent that went through probate. They know enough about it that they want to avoid it. So we're going to talk about avoiding probate. And then part 3, we talk about how to get free in-home care for seniors, or how to protect your life savings from the cost of a nursing home. So all of those things are important. You might have part 1 done, but we need to talk about part 2 and part 3.
Yeah. And Tom, long-term care, oh my God, has the cost gone up on long-term care?
Steve, it's typically $14,000 a month to be in a nursing home, also known as a skilled nursing facility. And that's a lot of money. Now, when you're out there in the community and you're talking to your friends, families, neighbors, coworkers, and you hear these words, oh, mom fell and broke her hip. She went and got surgery. She went to rehab. We thought after rehab, mom would be going home, but no, she's got to go into the skilled nursing facility, nursing home, $14,000 a month. Everything she's ever worked for down the drain. Nothing we can do. 5-year look back period. No. At Florida Senior Planning, we have all the tools we need to protect your wealth from the cost of a nursing home. So whether it's your home, your vacation home, your rental property, commercial property, IRAs, 401ks, savings, checking, you name it, we can protect it and have the state of Florida pay for your nursing home.
We just got a text in from Michael in Davie, Florida. He said, "Thank you so much for bringing a show like this. My question is, what do you tell a family member to keep from all the fighting when you choose a power of attorney? It seems like always someone's feelings get hurt."
Yeah. Steve, when I'm talking to a client about it, I said, look, you got 3 kids, you're going to have to appoint one of them to make healthcare decisions for you or appoint one of them in your financial power of attorney. It is not an award. You are looking for which child might be the best person to do these things for you, healthcare or business. You might have a daughter who's a nurse and she'd be great for healthcare, and a son who's a CPA, he might be great for the financial. But keep in mind, when you're appointing your kids to make healthcare or financial decisions for you, you can appoint one child, or if you got 3 kids, you could appoint all 3 kids if you want to. If you appoint all 3 kids, well, the next question I'm going to ask you would be, okay, could any one child alone make healthcare decisions or take care of business? Or does it require all 3 signatures to do those things for you? So it is a job. It's not an award. Now, Steve, the main thing
Yeah.
that people are concerned about is that all the kids get treated equally as far as receiving mom and dad's wealth when mom and dad have passed away.
You know, how does someone avoid probate on their home, Tom?
Steve, that is a great question. And here in the state of Florida, we have a great tool for avoiding probate on your home. It's called a ladybird deed. Steve, occasionally people will call our office and say, hey, I want one of those ladybug deeds. Well, we know what they're talking about. It's a ladybird deed. It's named after Lady Bird Johnson, who was a wife of President Lyndon Johnson. He was one of the first people to do this ladybird deed. This ladybird deed is a deed that we would prepare, FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. We prepare this deed for you. It states that as long as you or you and your spouse are alive, it is your home to do with as you please. There's no restrictions whatsoever. It's within the body of the deed itself. It literally gives the name of who gets this piece of property when you pass away. I'm typically talking about your children, but it could be friends, it could be charities. So that when you do this ladybird deed and you pass away, the only thing your kids need to do is record your death certificate in the public records, and your home will automatically belong to them. No headaches, no hassles, no probate. So this ladybird deed is a very powerful tool for avoiding probate on your home and maintaining complete control over your home. If I do this ladybird deed for you today and you leave it to your 3 kids, and 6 months from now you have a falling out with one of them and you want to change it to just 2 kids, or 6 months from now you want to sell your home or refinance your home, you're going to be able to do so without your children's knowledge, signature, and consent. You can do the whole thing. They don't have any rights or interest in your home until you have passed away.
Next question from Kelly in Palm Beach Gardens. She said, "Thank you for bringing us a show like this. My mother lives in Largo. I keep hearing the word elder law. Of course, my mother is elder, but what is elder law?"
I would say it's a broad category for a lawyer. We are definitely elder law attorneys here at Florida Medicaid. Florida Senior Planning. Steve, I would say it's a lawyer that specializes in doing wills, trusts, avoiding probate, getting free in-home care for seniors, getting people qualified for the state of Florida will pay for their nursing home. Those are all categories for elder law attorneys, and that is certainly what we do at floridaseniorplanning.com.
You just said free in-home care program what is that?
So I see a text here. It says, does every state have this program? Remember that this free in-home care for seniors program and having the state of Florida pay for the nursing home, these are programs that are dictated by both state and federal law. What's true here in the state of Florida is not necessarily true in any other state. Here in the state of Florida, the state of Florida has what's called a waiver program, where instead of going into a nursing home, you waive your right to go to a nursing home. And instead, the state of Florida will give you up to 30 hours of free in-home care per week, like
Wow.
cooking, like cleaning, bathing, taking you to doctor's appointments, all those things. It is meant to help keep you in your home. That's what people want. They want to stay in their home. So if you're listening right now and you're thinking, oh, I want to stay in my home as long as I can, but I need a little bit of help, this waiver program is for you. If you got some elderly parents here in the state of Florida and you're helping them to stay in their home, God bless you for that. But maybe you need a little bit of help to help take care of your parents. Again, this waiver program through the state of Florida is what we can help you to qualify and get at floridaseniorplanning.com. Now, Steve, I am going to qualify that. You get the 30 hours of free in-home care when you need it. When you approach that time, the state of Florida will interview you. They'll rate you on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 means you don't need it very much. 5 means you do need it. They're going to put you on the top of the list to get the free in-home care. And I want your listeners to understand that it is always about a 6-month process from beginning to end. So you always got to be thinking 6 months out. Not what's going on with mom and dad today, but what might be going on, with them 6 months from now. They're going to be much worse than today. And now is the time to start the process for the waiver free in-home care program and be ready 6 months from now when the time is right.
It seems like a lot of the texts we're getting here in South Florida have family members around Florida. I want people to know you cover all of Florida. And thank God for Zoom, huh?
Yeah. Steve, we assist clients throughout the state of Florida, including South Florida, with your lawyers, with wills, trusts, estate planning, avoiding probate, getting them qualified for the free in-home care, helping them to protect their life savings from the cost of a nursing home. We offer a free initial consultation to talk about these things. We can do it in person, via Zoom, over the phone. Steve, we also have some great legal booklets on these topics. And Steve, I wrote them. And that means they're simple, easy to understand, big font. We'll be happy to mail you these free booklets to your listeners. Just contact floridaseniorplanning.com. We'll get you these free booklets. We have topics on how to avoid probate on your home, how to get free in-home care for seniors, how to protect your life savings from the cost of a nursing home. You want to get those booklets, contact floridaseniorplanning.com. We'll get those in the mail to you.
Tom, I got to tell you what is so important about this show. There is so much information that people need to understand when it comes to estate planning. I mean, you have this your head is like a computer. You have all these checklists that people don't even think about, and it's got to be amazing when someone comes in and sits down with you and they find out all the things they didn't know about estate planning, which is going to make their life so much easier.
Steve, we've done it thousands and thousands of wills and trusts, so we know how to make it very simple for people come in, they might be confused or intimidated. Believe me, we know how to make the process very simple for people. And earlier we were talking, a texter called about How do they avoid kids arguing with each other? And Steve, I've been a lawyer for 45 years, and back in the day when mom and dad passed away, very rare was it when the kids would argue with each other. These days, when mom and dad pass away and we're talking about them inheriting mom and dad's wealth, there's a 50% chance they're going to be arguing with each other and a good percentage chance they'll never speak to each other again. So this is just a sign of the time, Steve. But if the parents will work with FloridaSeniorPlanning.com to get their affairs in order, including avoiding probate, including making things simple, easy, and inexpensive for the kids when they pass away, there's going to be much less opportunity for the kids to argue with each other. When we talk about assets going through probate, and we're all about helping people to avoid probate at FloridaSeniorPlanning.com, one of the problems with probate is one of the kids will be appointed as the executor of the estate. And guess what? Now he's got all the opportunities for payback to all the siblings. He could delay things, make things more complicated, make things difficult for everybody. And the kids are going to be sitting back there. I'm going to call him Florida Senior Planning a year later and say, hey, mom and dad passed away a year ago. Their estate's going through probate. My brother was appointed as the executor. I don't know what's going on. I haven't gotten any of my money. Well, now they're going to have to hire us just to get their share of the estate. That's why we want to avoid probate. Now, see, let me give you a good example of that. When we talk about avoiding probate for bank accounts, checking, savings, CDs, money markets, it's easy. Keep the account in your name only. Make it POD, payable on death for your children, so that when you pass away, any one of your children can show the bank or credit union or investment company your death certificate. If you've got 3 kids, they'll write 3 separate checks to your 3 kids. They don't even have to talk to each other to get their money. It is not the first child down to the bank with a death certificate gets all the money. No, no, no. Any one child can show the bank the death certificate. They'll write 3 separate checks. They don't even have to talk to each other. That's what I mean about trying to set it up to make it easy for the kids. They won't have an opportunity or a need to argue with each other.
Tom, I know your practice is throughout Florida. See here in the chat line, Larry, does every state have a program for free home care for seniors? Do you know that?
No, this is specific to Florida. It's called a waiver program. If you call Florida Senior Planning and you say, I want free and home care, or I want the waiver program, this is a uniquely program through the state of Florida. It is meant to keep people out of a nursing home. It's a savings for the state of Florida, so they don't have to pay $14,000 a month for your nursing home. Instead, they'll provide you with up to 30 hours per week of free in-home care, like cooking, like cleaning, bathing, taking you to doctor's appointments, all the things needed to keep you at home.
I want to just throw one more thing in before we go. There are so many people who live in New York who are moving here to South Florida and actually throughout Florida.
Yeah.
We're going to be getting a huge influx of people. And I want people to know that you can have an attorney here in Florida working for you. You don't have to worry about having that attorney in New York. There's a lot of different things in Florida, benefits, just like Tom was saying, that we have here in Florida that they don't have in other states. So I'm going to ask Tom to give us your phone number and your website, and please write this down. And when you do finally get settled in and you need an estate planning attorney, Tom's firm, Tom Olson's firm, is the best at what they do. What is your phone number and your website?
So, Steve, first I want to let your listeners know that to qualify for these benefits, free in-home care, have the state of Florida pay for your nursing home, you're entitled to those benefits the day you move to Florida. There's not a time requirement. You want to reach us, if you're a listener, Steve, we'd be pleased to assist people. We have our free initial consultation. We have free booklets on all these topics we've talked about. Go to FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. Our phone number, 407-423-5561. or just search Attorney Tom Olson. We'll be happy to talk to you on the phone. You can email me. We'd be happy to take care of clients anywhere in the state of Florida.
And Tom's going to be back with us on the 19th at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. This show has become so important. We're going to be running it twice a month. Tom, we are so blessed to have you. I can't, your show is just goes by so fast. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, we'll see you before Thanksgiving. So I wish you a happy Thanksgiving then, Tom.
Sounds great, Steve.
Thanks. That's Attorney Tom Olson. And folks, I got to tell you, if you need an estate planning attorney in Florida, he is the perfect firm. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.